Made it to FMCA in Gillette, Wyoming, and this is our first RV event, rally, convention of any sort. And it is bananas how many RVs are here. But it's super cool to see them all in one place, and we're really excited to check out the vendors and all the stuff. So we'll take you along with all the festivities.
But it's kind of like, which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Live entertainment is that way.
Bingo's in there.
This way. So I think we start with bingo and then maybe move our way to live entertainment.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
We're gonna head back to the RV, call it a day, and see what tomorrow has in store for us here at FMCA. One of the cool things about being here is that we can get service on our coach by a Rev Group technician. So we've got Todd from the Rev Group Service Center who's out taking a look at a few things on the RV that we want to have taken care of. Todd just left. He was a super nice dude. Took care of everything on our list and made sure that we didn't have anything else that wasn't on the list that we needed taken care of. And now we are all fixed up and ready to roll. The rig is looking good. All washed and shined up. Ice cream social.
Except we're not so social. And the tent was packed.
So we came to FMCA for a few different reasons. One was because we wanted to check out rallies. We'd never been to a rally before. Two was because Holiday Rambler and the Rev Group was going to be here, and we were able to get some service done on our coach where we probably wouldn't have otherwise. The third reason that we came is because we want to test drive this coach behind us. And no, we are not looking to buy a new one. Holiday Rambler introduced us to Wayne and Chris from LiquidSpring. Our vacationer is a gas coach, which means it rides on a Ford F53 chassis. And LiquidSpring builds a suspension system for that chassis that is supposed to make our gas coach ride like a diesel coach that has air ride.
New coaches now come with the option to add that on prior to, taking ownership of your new coach. Ours is a 2017, but even though it didn't come with one, LiquidSpring offers the opportunity to add it on after. Yeah.
This might be something that we put on our Holiday Rambler once we kind of test it out and see what we think. But We're going to take you along for the ride. I'm going to test drive it from the driver's standpoint. Christy and Kate are going to ride along.
Yep.
Give you that perspective.
Yeah, well, it'll be like, he's like the techie guy that knows really how it works, and Kate and I'll be like layman's terms, like, oh my gosh, this is so smooth. Or, you know, we'll be able to explain like how the ride actually feels. So from a driver's perspective and then a rider's perspective.
Yep. And we'll run you through all the technical details, how it works and all that kind of stuff too. So come along with us as we take a ride on the LiquidSpring Southwind coach. You'll feel the front or the back drop, and then you'll feel the front drop. What's the range of travel? 3.5 inches each way. Okay. So is that 7 inches total, or 3 inches? 7 inches total. Okay, so 3.5 up from normal and 3.5 down from normal. And really, the only time you'd ever really want to go on up to high is if you have like a crummy departure angle and you know you're going to drag. Yeah, yeah. Drop it. Yep. Or lift it. Okay. What I recommend you do when you go to park, take our suspension, put it in low, and turn it off. Yep. Then run your levels. Well, it's like those diesel city buses. It's like an air ride, yeah. Yep. And that's what that was made for, is the ambulance stuff. Okay. So they could lift and lower. Yeah, yeah.
And how do you know where you want to be?
When you take off, if we drove away like this, the driver interface is telling you where you're sitting right now. And if we actually drove away with this all the way down at 15 miles an hour, it's going to go back to normal. It's not going to let you drive at high speeds in too high or too low. Okay. The only time you can change stuff is at really slow speeds. You can take what seat you normally ride in. Okay. I'll stand over here and I'll run my mouth, which is what I do good. Okay. And we can go for a ride. Awesome. And you can drive.
Sounds good. All right, we are ready to drive. Wayne from LiquidSpring is going to be running me through the paces as we roll down the road, and
we'll see what
ready to go. We can have. Let's take it away.
Let's go. This corner here was the only one I was concerned. We may have to go up a row or two. Yeah, no, you got this.
He does really, really well driving it.
And I'm not sure what kind of driving you want to do. If you want to hit the freeway, we can. If you want to stay on the 55, 60 mile an hour back roads, we can.
We can go wherever this thing can go.
It'll go anywhere you want to take it. So what you felt there, that was really about as much movement as you're going to get.
I was going to say that even that felt like a lot less.
So let's turn left here, and this is a good hole here for you. This is a good test.
Okay. Yeah, because this.
So that's as much as you're going to get. Hope we can get through that gate.
So anytime I drive through something like that, I take it super slow. Obviously, it's our house. We've got all our stuff in it. And
yeah, 4 or 5. This will get one good oscillation and stop. Yeah, let's go right. So what you'll notice, you can still feel the road, but you'll notice the sharp edges are gone off the road. Yeah. You're not feeling that bang.
Yep. That's definitely smooth.
Up here we got some railroad tracks we'll go over, and the road kind of twists and winds up here on the other side.
Okay.
I'm gonna drive over. You're right. Drive right over.
You would never do that in ours.
Oh my gosh, I'd still be back there.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah. Well, I can feel it, because you can feel it start to want to go, and then
the suspension takes over.
I usually sit at the table or the couch. I'm actually hardly ever up here, just because he needs things and
whatnot. You ride where you normally ride at.
Yeah, I figured I'll pop back on the couch in a minute, or the table section, because I'm usually working.
I already feel like I can drive faster on these types of roads.
Oh,
it feels
you can start getting more and more comfortable. So when you went through that corner, did you feel it kind of take a set? It stopped moving? Yeah. At that point, it's not going to lean anymore. Okay. Really. I mean, you really have to push it hard.
And I'm going to go in the back. Okay. And sit at the table.
Something in the road where I have to quickly get everybody settled. Sometimes we'll have you kind of flip.
So far, so good.
But we'll wait.
You can sit right here. Well, you know how Mommy usually sits at the table and does some work when we're traveling?
Yeah, Mom. Sit right here. I'll wrap this around your legs to be safe.
Yeah, this is amazing. I don't feel like there's 32 feet of coach
went down the freeway, because you won't even know a truck's passing you until you see it. I mean, this truly is, you can drive this for 8 hours, just like you're driving, and you're not going to be worn out. I mean, you're going to be tired of driving. Sure. But that fatigue that you get, your tight shoulders, that won't be there, because you're not having to fight the coach. So when he passes you, just kind of flip it over the other lane. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Just flip it over there. Oh, no. Drive it over there. Flip it over there. It's going to go right where you pointed. I can tell by your first try there, you were thinking, oh, I know what he's going to do.
I was thinking he was going to take me.
Oh yeah, they got more faith. It doesn't keep going. That's the beauty, is when you stop turning the wheel, it stops moving.
And you can feel it leveling out.
Yep.
That was, wow.
And I know that's kind of anti norm to do that. Nobody wants to do it because I know what my coach does when I do that.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm saying is like that's my fear, is coming up on something in the road and having to do that.
Yep.
This is really cool. I think it gives you more confidence.
Oh yeah.
That is insane. Like, I went around that under acceleration. I would typically like sort of pull out, creep around the corner, get it straight, and then go.
It's really easy to drive this coach.
It's a big one. I would not do 70 on this road. I would probably be doing 55, 60.
So have you done anything to your coach?
Nope. In terms of suspension or steering?
No upgrades. Nope. Okay. So it'll be a little different than this because it's a little heavier, but not much.
Right.
You won't, well, what you're doing, you won't tell the difference.
It's also loaded with about 10,000 pounds of dressers. So.
But yeah, but you gotta have those.
Right.
They're a necessity.
When was the last time you said you didn't have a dress you needed? Not you, yeah.
I've never had a dress I didn't.
Yeah, that's me.
I think too, the big thing, like you were saying, we try to typically do 3 to 4 hours, but there's definitely been a handful of times where we've done like 5 to 6 hour travel days, and you're just wiped afterwards.
Oh,
like mentally,
it's just it's like you are always
and you always have to be on, but if it physically also feels a bit better.
Yeah.
So that is one of the things this does give you the ability. You can actually reach down, change your radio station, whatever, and you'll still be in the lane. Because people are so used to their coaches, they have a tendency to overdrive this when they get in it. Now, you haven't. I'm pretty impressed. You let it just run itself down the road.
So this system is like constantly active.
Yeah, it's
constantly
you're not
monitoring.
having to do anything. It's doing it for you.
It doesn't even squat when you accelerate. It just kind of
If you jump on the brakes really hard, it won't dive at all. I mean, this truly is good or better than most air rides.
Yeah, I wish you could have seen just the, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but if you drive across an intersection and the road is crowned, so you get this, and I was just doing that under acceleration and barely felt anything.
How often do you have to get the LiquidSpring serviced or maintained?
You shouldn't ever have to get it serviced unless the warning light comes on, or you see fluid on the ground. You shouldn't have to touch it.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I mean, it's a lifetime system. If we took a diesel pusher coach down the same road, it feels pretty much just like it.
Yeah, and I've never driven a diesel pusher, so
This is very comparable to air ride. That's what this suspension does really well, is isolate all that motion.
Yep.
And that's what an air ride's kind of doing, is isolating Where a spring, when it goes down, it has to come back up. I mean, that energy has to go somewhere.
Yep. I think that's kind of what I've always chalked it up to. It's like when I started driving ours, I thought it rides pretty good, but obviously it's not like a car. But this is just takes a lot of that.
Yeah, it just takes the impacts and the sharp edges and all that off.
Yeah, it takes the abruptness out of it. So, what do you think? I mean, can you tell? I know you don't ride up front that much, or even when you were back there.
Like, you don't know if the road's actually decent, or if it, obviously it's the LiquidSpring on here, but it feels just super, like, just an easy ride. And most highways are not decent.
Not out here. No. I mean, that's one thing we've learned out here is, like, especially in the states that get a lot of snow, like, the roads are just,
They get the frost heaves and all that on
super
them.
beat. Yeah, and then the plows and the salt and all that stuff just tear them up. But I feel like even the minor corrections are simpler. It's just,
You don't have to fight the wheel. How you're driving it right now is what I normally do.
yeah, it's like you said, it's like driving a SUV.
We like to smile. This ought to be a good exit. A 10-mile-an-hour exit.
Look at that. I just took that at 20.
It allows you just to drive.
That's crazy.
This is our freeway entrance here. These are pretty short entrances.
Yep.
I mean, that looks like somebody's driveway.
I feel like
So
I
what
shouldn't
you're
be.
saying is you don't like it at all.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's awful. I don't know what you guys are doing, man.
We're just throwing stuff in the wall, seeing what sticks.
What you do? Put rubber bands on here?
Yep.
Oh my goodness! Like that, just little.
Yeah, I mean, we would still be back there. Like
Yeah.
you're like now that you just, yeah, I mean, which isn't a bad thing. We obviously want to be safe, but how different it is.
Well, yeah, it's just the lack of sway. I think is like the most noticeably different thing, and the fact that I can accelerate through turns or into turns, which I think is a benefit because getting on the highway, especially on something like that, like if I can't accelerate till I'm already straight, I'm already behind the game. So if I can start to accelerate earlier, like that's a big benefit.
Well, I think you're using that term a little off. You don't accelerate in a motorhome, you gain momentum.
That is fair assessment. All right, so we just got back from the test drive, and as you were able to see by the smile on my face, that was an amazing ride. I have not ridden in a diesel, so I don't know exactly what an air ride feels like, but from what you say, that's
Very comparable. Very
close as we're
comparable.
going to get in the gas chassis. And the ride was amazing. The body roll was a lot less. Going through turns and bumps on the road was just smoother. It takes the abruptness out of.
It absorbs the energy.
Yeah. So tell me real quick how the system actually works.
So when you're going down the road, we're sensing speed, steering, braking, and ride height at all times. And off of those signals, it's telling the suspension how much fluid to actually allow the suspension to have to compress.
Okay.
So it's either going to cut it all the way off or modulate somewhere in between. And it's doing that about every 40 milliseconds. So it's rapidly doing it. So when you were feeling the coach want to start to move and then stop, what it's doing, as soon as it starts to move, it's ramping the spring rate up, stops that, and then goes back to that soft compliant ride. I mean, that's truly our technology is the compressible fluid and being able to control how rapidly that fluid is available to be compressed.
Gotcha. Okay. So basically, in layman's terms, is it's smoothing out everything that the coach wants to do, and it's counteracting it and
it's keeping it on the chassis, not into the coach.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So that was an incredible ride. I am super impressed with the product, and I think we might have to get one on ours because as full-time RVers, obviously we are driving around a lot, and it's one of those things where we want to do as much as we can to make the ride as smooth as possible and enjoyable for everybody. So I think this system on do you offer it only on the Ford F53 chassis, or is it?
We have it for the Ford E Series, the Ford F450, 550 cabin chassis stuff. So the RVs, the Dodge 4550, 500, the MV chassis. So like the Nexuses.
So even some C classes out
Oh
there.
yeah, we got a lot of stuff for the C class stuff.
Okay.
On the gas chassis Class A, the F53 is really all we have at this point.
Okay. So again, this was Wayne from LiquidSpring. Thank you so much for the test drive. That was fantastic.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and boy, I can't. I'm still in shock about how good the ride was. This is great. Thank you so much.
You bet.